Oh, yeah. Snap that can open for me, Matt. You're on can duty. There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. We're here at BRI, also known as Beer Research Institute. I am with Matt Tretheway, whose name I cannot spell correctly, apparently, but
no one can.
No one can, because
it's Matt with 3 T's, right?
What's that?
I mean, is it Matt with 3 T's, or what's hard about Matt?
Matt's the hard part. Yeah, it's only 2 T's.
Oh, okay.
2 T's.
It is.
Hey, Ryan Sandlin, I'm talking to you, buddy. I'm talking to you. You're so pretty on this can.
I love it. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Social Distance Drinking Club. I am here in Mesa, Arizona. It's a beautiful day. If you're outside of Arizona joining us, it is gorgeous outside. The weather's amazing. I've got some sunlight coming into our face. We're inside of the brewery at Beer Research Institute. Matt, thank you very much for joining us.
Absolutely. Been meaning to do this for a while now.
I know, right? You remember that one time he didn't show up? It turns out his mom's dog's cousin was sick. So it's fine. It's no big deal.
That's exactly what happened.
Are we guest shaming on our show now? Is that what we're doing?
Always.
I opened up the door to it. I opened that up earlier this afternoon. So
it's true. I never actually said anything at all, but I stopped by here earlier this afternoon. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it back to do this on location. And Matt said, sorry about that. I totally bailed on you guys, and then told me the whole story. And I just didn't realize that dogs' lineages could be traced that far.
You can go pretty deep on it, yeah.
It's intense.
Yeah. It's a thing. So it's not my thing, but it's a thing.
I think you can go pretty deep on it.
There might be a flash in there, but I mean, I enjoy drinking my own beers, so I got another one, man.
No, it's fine. We got plenty to drink.
We reserved a pallet of that in case we ever need to fuck with Ryan. So always one on deck.
I love it. Well, we always start the show with what are you drinking? I'll start with us real quick because since there's a little bit left of this, but he can talk about it a little bit more.
Oh yeah, just super easy, fun idea. Obviously lagers have been popping quite a bit over the last year. We're seeing a lot more of it coming into Arizona, which really makes sense because they're perfect for drinking in this environment. I think so many brewers stayed away from them for so long because, it does take a lot more resources, a lot more energy, things like that. They suck up your tanks for a lot longer. And so I think people just kind of stay away from them. But we started dabbling with lagers about 2.5 years ago. And one of our employees, Zach, he's our general manager. He came in and he said, "Hey, let's do a rice lager, something that's super super crispy and easy to drink." And this is what came out of it.
Every character on this can has exactly what my barber fucked up and did to my face today, which is got rid of my beard. So you guys all know that it takes me 6 months to grow anything that could be possibly called a beard, and it's gone, gentlemen. It's gone.
If we could just maybe have a quick consensus, because I thought, damn, Yusuf looks really nice. You look really cool and tight, man.
He's a handsome man.
It's on your little screen, but in person I look patchy and prepubescent, so it's not great.
Hey, just get real close to the camera real fast. Okay, back up.
Oh, yeah. This Yusuf beard is not meant for high definition. This is standard definition, Yusuf.
100%. This is leaving at you from the other side of the bar, Yusuf. So
yeah.
When they get closer, they're like, no.
Social distancing has been very, very good to me.
I want to keep talking about beers, but real quick, we'll go around the room and find out what you guys are drinking. I've got beer for you guys from BRI, and we'll get it to you. But we'll go around. Adam Green, what do you got?
Decided to open up a little Frankenwally. I've heard good things. Picked it up earlier today, and the things I heard were accurate. It's really good.
Nice. Mr. Ledford, I know that you had a busy evening with everyone yesterday at the Casual Pint anniversary. Did you bring anything back to drink, or you open up something light?
I don't know. No, I did. Thanks to Mr. Ty Pashwan, Rude Boy, Rude Girl from Long Live. I'm guessing Long Live. Yeah, thought I'd drink it out of the old FO glass. No reason.
Nice. Frank Berry?
So you know what's funny? We didn't actually plan this.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Well,
Awesome.
You know what's funnier is we didn't plan this at all. Not at all. We don't know what happened. Do you have the same beer I do? That's crazy.
Whoa.
We have like a coconut stout. And
We got all the coconut today.
Killer hazy. We don't have the cans. That's what we need. I want to show people those cans.
I can run the cans in here in a minute.
Yeah, those in a minute. Yeah.
We've got two. We did a double can release yesterday. 2 beers that we've done in the past, but we want to bring them back. I think seasonality is key, and so we brought back the El Coco, which is our coconut stout. This year we crammed twice as much coconut into the batch, so turned out really, really good, and just a big coconut bomb. And then while we were on that trip, we decided to go ahead and bring back Urban Banger, which this is just a variant of our Urban Art New England style IPA, but this one's kind of like the tropical version. So what we do is we throw pineapple and coconut in this batch, and then we had some remnant sabro laying around, so we finished it off with sabro, which ties into the coconut. So they're both hitters.
They are indeed both hitters. I want to, before we talk a little bit more in depth about these beers and run to some questions from the audience, we've also got Colby Hansen, who's the head brewer here, waiting backstage, and he's going to join us in a minute, which is super exciting. Colby is back there.
He's the man.
Did we know he was coming? Did you know he was coming?
I knew Colby was coming.
Okay, I didn't.
Yeah, I knew we were going to bring him in.
This was a surprise.
Yeah. Colby's the man that makes the liquids, and that's like what our whole company is based around beer. If we don't showcase our brewer, what are we doing?
Is that on his business card or his resume? The man who makes liquid.
His new ones are coming. Yes.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's good. Man who makes liquid that's a versatile business card. You can use that in several situations.
And we like a lot of words on our business card.
I was gonna say, like, there are a lot of breweries who just decided to say, like, absolutely screw it with every formal business title.
Right.
Like it started happening, I guess, in the late 80s, early 90s. But like you'll find a lot of like head visionary engineered and like all sorts of weird stuff for like the owners and the brewers.
Mine says HMIC, which is head motherfucker in charge.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Hit that guy. I want to quickly look at some comments from people. We've got Chris is drinking ice water. Sounds like you had a good Saturday then. And I see PJ is rocking some Pedal House Pilsner. And also somebody on Twitch. Yay! We've got our first troll. Who is that? Tell him his shirt looks nice on him. Who is who? Tell us who you're talking about.
Yeah, like there's a lot of people here.
That's a lovely thing. Thank you, Casey, for whichever person has a nice looking shirt.
Unless that was the response to my shave. His shirt looks nice.
Not so much the face, but the shirt. Beautiful.
I detect no lies, though. Like, no lies at all. That is a nice shirt.
Whatsoever. So earlier when Matt and I were having a conversation, we touched on a few things we talked about throughout the show, talking to other breweries, pivoting during the pandemic and what they did. What I heard you say something that I found very interesting. You said you took your business plan and just crumpled it up and threw it away because it didn't matter.
It really didn't, because we were just in a different world, right? And it happened so quickly that if you try to execute what you've had on paper for the past 5 years, it's just not going to work, and you're going to be your head against the wall. And so we just looked at it like, we don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow, let alone if tomorrow's even going to freaking exist. So we just kind of sidelined everything, threw it out the window, and we started from scratch on what can we do today to survive. And it worked. Right? I mean, we're still here, right?
You are.
Yeah.
And one of the other things you mentioned to me is you're operating at a very arbitrary 36%, not 30%, not 35, not 34, we're 36% capacity in here.
Seating capacity, yeah. And it's not arbitrary. It's actually like spot the fuck on. It's kind of interesting that, the state talks a lot, and a lot of consumers out there talk a lot about how we're capped at a 50% seating capacity. And that would be rad. When they told us that we could have 50% seating capacity, I was like, awesome, we're going to be able to bring new people in.
Yeah.
But the reality is that there's the other part of it, which is everybody has to be socially distanced and 6 feet apart. And with the way our layout is throughout the brew pub, we're kind of capped out at about 36%.
And I think that's something that a lot of people didn't take into consideration. When you look at it, you're like, oh, they can have 50% of whatever their max occupancy is on the fire code list that they have on their side. Except when you can't. When you can't, right?
So it's a neat idea. And if everybody could operate at 50% capacity, it would be obviously significantly easier for people to pay their bills and their employees and keep everything running. Operating at 36% capacity it's tough, but again, we took the original plan and we threw it out the window. We said, how can we live in this environment now? And we found a way to do that. So,
What was the moment where you finally took a deep breath or like a sigh of relief and said, or have you not done it yet?
I was saying, so next year is coming.
Yeah, next 2021, maybe.
I think it's really when we started to find our new pattern, our new groove, and our new pulse. When we started to dial in our new operating systems and how we were actually handling the customers that came in and how we were approaching the business and marketing, like when all that started to click, we were like, okay, so now we understand what this is, what it looks like, what it feels like, and that was a sigh of relief. But then there's the backup to that, which is, hey, tomorrow sucks too already. But it was definitely a sigh of relief.
I'm sure though, like you've got to be proud of yourself and maybe even found out new things about you in the business, because to be able to pivot like this, because you've been in the business for a while now, doing it a certain way, to be able to change on the fly like that and still be successful in this environment that is foreign to all of us, not knowing what's coming next. Like you probably learned a lot about yourselves and what you're capable of at BRI, I would think.
Oh, 100%. So, I mean, number one, you got to look yourself in the mirror every single day, right? And you got to be honest with yourself. Is that dude looking back at you in the mirror? He's never going to lie to you. You can't bullshit that guy, right? But like, it's more of a testament to my team than anything else, because I'll come up with an idea and I'll push things in motion, but they're the ones that execute it, and their attitudes have to support it. They've got to be able to get behind it and not only just be able to execute it, but actually believe in it and wrap their heads around it and embrace it. And I've just always been really fortunate that we're surrounded by rad people, and we have been since day one. And I still have I've got the majority of the team still intact from before COVID, and I'm more proud of that than anything else.
No, that's great. And obviously, like, there's going to be an after COVID time, and you need to be able to be ready for that, because you got a good business. Like, I've been to BRI quite a few times, and I don't live anywhere close to you, but it's always good beer and really good food, and it's a model that's worked. You're there for a reason. So to be able to pivot like you have and be successful this way, like, I imagine when you do come out of this, you'll feel even better about what you're doing. Like, you'll be a better brewery, a better brew pub based on this experience.
I agree, man. I think anything that hits you hard in life, you're either sharpening your sword and getting better, or you're crawling into a corner and you're crying and begging for mercy. And we just don't operate like that. We've been sharpening our sword this whole time.
Yeah, it's great.
Hey, Matt. So as you've been kind of adjusting to this current environment and working in uncertainty, has that changed your decision making on the types of beers you guys plan to make, week to week and month to month?
Maybe a little bit, not necessarily making different beers, but kind of the frequency of the beers we're making and our release dates. So we're definitely doing more can releases now, because so much of our traffic has been shifted away from pints at the bar and has shifted over to cans to go. So we had to pivot and move with that, or if we wouldn't have done that like immediately, we'd be on the struggle bus right now. So we had to shift gears on that. But then in terms of like changing the beers that we do, I'd say right now we're probably brewing and launching more hazies than we really want to, more than we're really comfortable with. We love them, but it also, like, it can burn you out too. So, but we also know that if we make a 5 or 10 barrel batch of a new hazy IPA, it's going to sell out in a weekend, and like that's part of what's keeping everything afloat. So, I'd love to live in a world where we could just do banger after banger of West Coast clear, punchy in the fucking teeth IPAs. But that's not what we're allowed to live in right now. So,
well, speaking of hazy IPAs, and bangers, Urban Banger, which is
yeah,
right here, cheers.
Yeah, cheers to that.
Is delicious, and I want to move to that, but I hear the brewer behind the magic in this glass is with us, right? So let's bring Colby in.
Ooh.
Heyo.
Colby Hansen? Colby Hansen?
Colby Hansen? Let's do that.
Where's he at?
Colby!
Hey there, surprise, I'm here.
Surprise!
What's up, man?
What is up, Colby Hansen?
Just hanging out at home, drinking some beer.
What is that banner? That's not his title. He's not head brewer. We've been over
The guy
this.
who makes the liquid.
I prefer vice president of brewing operations.
We all wear several hats around here.
No, really, there's a
And
shitload of hats
custodian.
around here. I've looked around. There's a bunch of hats hanging in places. They also wear several boots. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Boots and hats, man. It's what we do. But Colby's been with us for what, coming up on 5 years?
Yeah.
Next month? Coming
Yeah,
up on
just
5
about,
years
yeah.
next month, and we are super stoked to have him because he's got a amazing pedigree behind him, and he came into this brew house and kind of made it his own, and got really comfy really fast and got locked in, and he's been doing some good shit.
Jonathan Jacob Mankey says, BRA makes terrific beer and amazing food. Cheers. Cheers to you.
Mankey likes our wings.
I know that guy.
Didn't mention the wings.
Oh, he
I
likes
don't know
the
if I
wings.
believe it. You didn't mention the wings.
He'll come back.
We get some wings.
Is now the time to talk about how much I miss festival after parties at BRI? For what I remember of them.
We do too.
That was-
Unofficial after parties.
Right.
Yes.
That was back. That was
I
back
don't
when
know
it
what we're talking about.
day for Matt to get on top of his bar and stomp around with his feet on top of
Yeah.
it and yell at everybody a little bit. And
You
it
can't
was,
do that
You
anymore.
can't breathe that loud
Yeah, I
anymore.
can't even do that.
in this area. It doesn't work.
They've taken my podium away.
You're taking it away. Your entire podium.
But no, like I think some of our after parties are, borderline legendary. We've always been very heavy industry here at BRI. We always bring in all those industry folks, and when you're done grinding it out in the field for 12 hours and serving drunk people for half of that, coming back to BRI and just kind of letting loose a little bit, it's always been fun.
Well, hey, Colby, since we have you, let's go through these beers. And if you don't mind, I want to let Colby chat
Yeah.
about it a little bit with us. So first things first, since we have the Urban Banger, talk to us about Urban Banger, Colby.
So yeah, Urban Banger was another one. Same Zach, our general manager, wanted to do a pina colada hazy. So that's what we came up with. It's got 2 pounds of coconut per barrel, and then a whole bunch of pineapple in it as well. And yeah, I'm sure as you can tell, it smells like a pina colada. This is the first year we've done it with Sabro, and that Sabro really did up.
I can't tell you guys how this smells and tastes over this stream right now. It's incredible. If you can get out to BRI, come get it. I mean, this
It's good.
as Brett would say, this beer fucks.
Oh, this-
It fucks. This
Yeah.
beer, very good. Cheers.
Very nice. Well, guys, I'm going to let you keep having a great conversation. I got to get my little girl ready for going back to live school a couple of days a week. So wish us luck. We're going to figure that whole thing out. So cheers, guys. Can't wait to have some BRI on premise again soon.
Cheers,
Awesome.
brother. We'll see you soon.
All right. Later, guys.
Finally got rid of him. Jeez.
I know, right? You got to distance the other Adam, and he did it himself.
Hey, fuck off.
The fact that he's leaving early means he gets to be the pick the bad team in the game tonight for the bet.
It's true. We forgot to ask him who to pick. Colby, you want to add anything else about this beer, like the inception of it? What maybe made you guys think to add a few pounds of coconut?
Like I said, it was really just the idea was to make a pina colada as a beer.
That's simple, right?
A lot of beer.
we try not to overthink things, guys. So it's like, hey, how can we bring these two things together? Pineapple and coconut. Let's do it.
Here's the fucking problem, Matt. Is you're the Beer Research Institute. You serve us stuff occasionally in tiny beakers and cylinders,
Yeah.
right? And then when we're like, "What's the science?" and you're like,
We're,
"Fuck, we make beer."
We're very
Yes.
simple people.
We're
We're very simple people.
We researched it by drinking it and saying it was good, and we have delivered our research.
He gets it.
That's it.
He gets it.
It's simple. That's how you do it.
That's how it has to be, though, right? Because it's like there's so many beers out there, so many places doing stuff. So once stay unique and true to yourselves, it's like this sounds like a good idea. Let's see if we can make it happen. That's what it sounds like. Which is like, as a consumer, I love that because it's like, yeah, that's a flavor I would like to drink that in a beer. So if you can make it, I will gladly buy that.
So
I mean,
in-
it's an interesting business strategy to make a good beer and be like, hey guys, we're gonna make something that tastes good.
So it sounds hard, right? But it is. No, yeah. So we've got a lot of there's a lot of influence, right? So you can look at the market and you can see what else is going on around the country and some trending beer ideas, and you get inspiration there. We've got Colby. Not only do we have Colby, but we also have Sam Catton, who's our assistant brewer, and Sam comes up with a lot of great ideas as well. And he's a very talented brewer alongside Colby. And then we've got an entire team of restaurant workers as well. We got our front of the house and our back of the house employees. Sometimes we'll tap into the kitchen and say, "Hey guys, let's talk about some culinary ingredients. What would work that exists in our kitchen in a beer?" Or front of the house, like, "Hey, what's something that you guys would like to do and contribute to the brewing operation?" And so we open that up, and we like to do crew beers, and we've come up with some amazing ideas. We've already talked about 2 of them today that came from our GM, which was Crispy Boys and then Urban Banger. But like our crew's constantly coming up with new ideas, and we try to do what we can with it.
Yeah, we've got a baklava double on right now. That
yeah,
is one of our.
Had it, and I prefer it to I can't remember who it was that made a baklava stout, but it was so light and terrible. And also, why the fuck did you make a baklava stout? Whatever place made it. So like the double hits the spot. Also, there's like an Armenian guy behind it. I might know it.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's the cool thing about that beer, and hopefully we can get Zeke in here to actually chat a little bit about it. He is still here. But the idea originally was a baklava stout. And then as we started talking about it, as we took that idea from Zeke and we brought it into the brewery, we also had a great opportunity to get some fresh dates from Agricovia Farms.
Yes.
And once we got the date idea, we were like, okay, well, baklava, like, of course that works. And we thought the dates would go perfect with the Belgian double. And so, again, like, that's kind of the process where an idea starts way the hell over here. And by the time it gets to the tank, it's been wrung out a couple times and smooth.
Colby, how much do you enjoy that freedom too, to like just play around and create these, not honestly crazy styles? It's like, because it's obviously, it sounds like you can make a baklava, it's not like that's going to be good, but just to have that freedom to make beers like that I assume, Matt, because you can be honest, like, your boss is only above you on the screen. Don't worry about it. But
Here, we'll make it easier. You don't have to look at him.
There we go. No, it can definitely be a little bit scary at times to just go with an idea like that and be like, we're going to make baklava as a beer. That one's a bad example because that makes sense. But we got one coming out, Honey Nut Hopios. That was a joke. It was like, why don't we just put Honey Nut Cheerios in a beer? And we're like, okay. And people love it. I love it. So
it's good. I've had it before.
The only thing I'm disappointed about is there are not actual Rice Krispies in this beer.
You don't know that. There's not.
There's not. See, I was lied to. There was rice, though.
There's rice.
There's rice.
There's rice.
There's no marshmallow.
Surprisingly, that's the one thing that we got on this, is that people thought it was it was supposed to be like a Rice Krispie treat, and we never implied that in any way, shape, or form.
Nah.
But that's, I think, what we think now of Rice Krispies.
Apparently, people don't eat Rice Krispie cereal anymore. They just eat Rice Krispies treats.
Right.
It's true.
Well, now Colby's got to start making a Rice Krispie treat beer, though. I think that's just what happened. Like right now, like look at this, is like, shit, I got to make that beer now, don't I?
But the problem is, then you'd be getting into the territory of adding lactose to beer, which I've heard rumor Colby might be able to say maybe is not his favorite thing. Yes, like lactose to an IPA.
I'm okay with lactose in beer. I don't like a lot of lactose in beer. So we have made milkshake IPAs. They have turned out good. They are not my favorite.
Either. So like sometimes you gotta have fun and you gotta do something that the market wants. And the last one we did was an employee idea, and it was a great idea, and she was super excited about it. We made Tutti Frutti bullshit. I don't know if anybody got any of that, but we had a lot of fun with it. But Colby's lactose intolerant.
You could have just said it out loud.
Lactose tolerant. I tolerate lactose.
I mean, we use it, but yeah.
Let's move on. I want to talk about El Coco because also, FYI.
Also, now it's warmed up a little bit too, so it's,
I know.
Like it's at
I was tasting it as it changed.
I love coconut beers too. That sounds like everything I want in a beer, and I'm exceptionally jealous that I'm not there to enjoy it right now.
It opens up so nicely as it warms up.
We'll have to make sure that you get some of it really soon, because it's a home run of a beer. And Colby, how much coconut did we cram into this bad boy this year?
Let's see. We're doing now. I got to do math on the fly. We did 40 pounds of coconut for the 10-barrel batch, so that's 4 pounds per barrel. There we go.
It's pretty solid. Ooh. Yeah, it just opens up once it gets a little warm, and it's just a giant coconut bomb. We're so stoked on that beer.
It is.
One thing I really appreciate about you guys, though, is you do all the different styles as well. Like, you're not pigeonholed into, like, you just do IPAs, you just do stuff. Like, you guys run the gamut. You do the entire range of, you have barrel-aged beers, you have if it's a beer style, you guys have made it, and you've made it well. Like, I think that's one of the cool things about you guys as a brewery. Less of a question and more of a compliment, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
Well, thank you, but there are
I
definitely a
totally
few that did not turn out well, but also they never saw the light of day. So,
Adam, I totally spaced about adding photos that we had from when we've come here for the beer and cookie pairings.
that's always a good time.
So I think after the show, we got to find a couple of those photos and post them for people to see on Facebook and Instagram. But
I've been doing, like, the dark sides, when the different, like, the dark side variants. I've done that day before, and yeah. You guys do events like that, though. Like, that's you guys. You're not just like, you do the cookie pairings. You do other things. Like, you're not just about, being a normal thing all the time. Like,
I think we kind of own that space too. There's a lot of places that do pairings. I think we do it well and we do it often. And we're definitely going to do milk stout and cookies again this year. People are going to be a little further apart from each other than they normally are, but we're definitely going to do that. We've done it every single year right at Christmas, and that is absolutely hands down. That is my favorite event to do. People just hang out on it, and it's right before the holiday. It's perfect.
I want to talk food. It turns out that file is so big, I forgot to upload it early. So I want to talk food, but I got to share the screen from. We're making this really, really intense now. We're doing cool stuff where we have like multiple screens and windows. But take a look at that. Yeah.
I do that.
We've been doing Arizona grass-fed beef since day one. Hand-cut fries. The fries always start as a potato in this restaurant. They get processed, cut down, and turned into French fries. We make everything from scratch as much as we can, except for the bread. Like, we're not going to mess with bread because we've got yeast over here for the brewery. I'm not bringing bread yeast into our house to cross-contaminate, but the bread's made locally here by Capistrano Brothers, or Capistranos rather, and they bring that in, and we're really proud of the food we do. It's elevated pub food. It's all scratch, and people love it.
Elevated pub food might be a beer name.
Well, it's a little bougie, I know, but that's kind of what it is. We want to take like that classic, American pub fare and just raise it up a level. Make it from scratch, use full ingredients and things like that.
So, Yusuf, be careful with that beer name, because then Colby's gonna have to make like a cheeseburger and fries stout, and I don't want to put that on him.
Like,
We've already got one in the tank.
It doesn't have to be fair, F-A-R-E. It could be F-A-I-R-E. It just elevated pub / fair, and there could be like, huzzah! This pub.
F-A-I-R-E. What?
Zeke works here, so yes, we could do that.
Yeah, 100%. If you guys you need to meet Zeke.
if you put an E on the end of anything, it just makes it classy.
True.
A peeky out type of thing. Okay.
Like
Cool.
Zeke's name.
Gets it.
It's not Z-E-E-K, it's Z-E-K-E. So it's Zeke with an E at the end. It's cool.
Wow. By the way, Yusuf, we were going to do a beer name. I didn't say it before, but Colby said, talking about the coconut stout, he said, we did 40 pounds of Coke nuts. Would be a much better beer.
Might be a much better beer.
I told him we weren't going to talk about that today, Colby.
Listen, I just filled up all the tanks.
I heard about the lactose
3
line.
days. It was okay.
Apparently, Colby cut lines of lactose to make lactose beers look more exciting.
We're going to do a promo video.
Yeah. Lines of lactose, also a great beer name. Just lines of lactose. Yeah.
Oh, Beer Bob's still got some prick going on over there.
Nice. Very nice.
Yusuf, just so you know.
Throw them in the comments. What's that, Adam?
it's the Sunday night football game, right? Cardinals and Seahawks are playing. They're about to kick off.
Let's make that pick now. I'm taking the Cardinals.
I'm on Seattle.
Great. Enjoy your loss. Brett?
I know Mr. Ledford was taking the Cardinals as well.
Thank you.
The Homer in me wants to root for the Cardinals, but I will take the Seahawks for the bet.
I will enjoy my other 4-pack of beer. So far, I think you guys have won 1. I've won 3. So this is good.
That math doesn't check out at all.
Not at all. I mean, no. I mean, in the weeks that we actually started doing this, you've won 1 week and I've won 3.
I don't think that's correct.
We'll figure it out later. But either way, you've lost more than you've won. That's my point.
That is true.
Yes.
That's a fact. Anyway, I just want to get that because the coin toss just happened. I know you like to pick the game after the team you picked is already up 7-0. So I wanted to get this out of the way before there could be any shenanigans. That's all.
He's already calling me a cheater. Like,
That's pretty aggressive.
Like I picked right at kickoff, and that's
pretty aggressive.
I don't know if I like being called a cheater. I don't know. It's not
I didn't hear the words, but
He said I like to pick after the game started. I mean, that's rude.
I was painting a picture for our viewers about how you often pick these games. I wasn't calling you anything. If you thought I was calling you a cheater, maybe you should look and then.
Well, it's been a lot of fun having him on the show. I've really enjoyed his company. Fantastic. And did you still switch spots with Brett?
Yes, I was comfortable up here.
He does it all the time. It's actually one of our favorite things, Matt.
This group dynamic is amazing.
No, you missed it. We call it distancing someone. Is when we just drop him from the show. He's out. Okay. He's gone for a second. Right. But mostly we just distanced him.
It's not distancing someone as like, oh, anyone could get distance at any time. It's basically like Double Dare. Sorry, I'm getting slimed over here.
Wear that crown, man. Wear that crown.
Did he just bring up Double Dare?
He did.
What about Legends of the Hidden Temple? What?
Those are great.
School, though. Let's kick it a little old school because someone picked up. I want to show everybody this picture.
I'm so excited.
Matt picked up something pretty sweet today. There it is. Right.
Oh, yes.
So I grew up on 80s arcade games, and one of the first jobs I ever had was actually in a little amusement park that had a huge arcade in the little town I grew up in, and so I found this, and I've been wanting to get some video games for a while, and it's a 1981 original like OG Donkey Kong cabinet, and it's like serial number 3036, so it's like low numbers, and it's been sitting in somebody's storage forever. So I was able to find it and pick it up, and we're gonna throw it in the brewery here and steal people's quarters and let people play some video games.
Nice.
Fun fact that's irrelevant but somewhat relevant is growing up. My family, we had a Donkey Kong machine, an arcade game.
Awesome.
I don't remember how we got it. I think someone gave it to us, and we were able to just rig it so where you have to put in quarters. My parents weren't going to rob their children. But we had it, and we don't have it anymore, and I'm kind of mad about it. It's like, it'd be so cool to have Donkey Kong in my house. So
absolutely.
You have Donkey Kong at your brew pub. Like, that's just fun.
Well, so we originally I bought a Tapper game.
Hold on, I have that, and I want to show. That's what I was going to say. There is also the game Tapper, which, if you guys don't know, is a game where you
serve beer.
You serve beer,
and so it's a rad game. It's actually hard to play, but it's the same like old school platformer game like Donkey Kong. You only have so many levels, and then they just speed up and get faster. You're serving beer to customers, and I've wanted one in BRI since day one. And I finally found one, so I went and grabbed it, and then found the Donkey Kong game. And there's a theme here. We're not going to turn this into an arcade or anything, but later on this year, towards the beginning of next year, we're gonna modify our front room to become a barrel room. And Colby's working on drastically expanding our barrel aged beer offerings and like getting into that space, because quite frankly, up until now, we've only really dabbled in that, and we'll do 1 to 2 small releases a year. It's always on draft. So I wanted Tapper in my brewery, and I wanted Donkey Kong because the whole thing is him throwing barrels. And so we got that specifically to put in the barrel room, and we're going to have a lot of fun over there.
I want to hit this question. For those of you watching right now, this is a fun one, so I want you guys to throw it in the comments. Some of you just throw this on and then continue to make yourself your first quarter drink. Stop. Tell us what your favorite old school arcade game is. I'm talking Aladdin's Castle at Fiesta Mall. I'm talking Metro Center above the ice rink.
Spare
change, like Tron. Found a couple of quarters when you returned a cart somewhere. Tell me what you were playing. I want to start with what Matt's is. Colby, I'm going to come straight to you because I know you got to have one too, right after Matt. Matt, what is your favorite old school arcade game?
Favorite old school arcade game, hands down, is Galaga.
Okay.
I can play Galaga for hours.
I don't
That's
hate
a classic.
I don't hate that. Galaga's a solid game. I think I remember playing it at the laundromat when my dad would go do laundry.
I'm slightly older than you.
Yeah, it's at a laundromat, not a pizza shop.
Okay,
so
all right,
it's
okay,
different.
that's fair.
That's only a
fair.
little bit older, just slightly older. Colby, what's your
mine would definitely have to be Pac-Man.
nice
Good.
Pac-Man.
Good at that one.
Pac-Man or
The
Miss
old tabletop
Pac-Man?
Pac-Man.
Because this is an important question. What about Miss Pac-Man?
It's all right. It's
'Cause
a
I
fun
will-
game. It's good.
Because I will put money.
Colby's a purist.
I'll put money on a game of Miss Pac-Man and wreck you.
Oh.
Cash money.
Don't believe him. He's terrible at video games. Like all of it.
Well, that did sound like a
Well,
challenge.
I can't say I ever got good at Pac-Man.
I think
That's my
maybe-
favorite.
I think maybe we just figured out our new live stream episode.
Hey, I'll be honest with you. I'm not good at any video game at all, but I love playing them. Love playing them.
We should do like verse Brewers and play old school games live.
What I should do is I should get a Brewers tournament in here on Tapper
100%.
and see what who's got it in the Valley.
100%.
Matt, we've already established Brewers aren't good at serving beer, just making it.
I've seen it at festivals like for years though, bro.
I got some comments. I want to hit them real quick. I'm going to go back to the quick football game. Robert Haddock says Seattle doesn't lose in AZ, so sadly I think the Sea Chickens are going to take this game. I don't think they will. I think we're solid here. Chris Macbeth says favorite game Donkey Kong. Yeah, might have to play around before I get out of here after this. Maybe we'll show you guys on the old Grammy Gram.
I'm still trying to figure out how this Tapper game works.
We're going to show you that.
Serve beer.
I'm going to show you. Poppy plays. Thanks for joining us. Plays Pac-Man, Dragon's Lair or Paperboy. Those were
Those are good.
those were really good.
And Paperboy is hard.
Super hard, but I
Yeah.
like mastered it on the Sega Genesis, and by that I mean I never played for more than 15 minutes before getting frustrated and quitting.
Yeah. The Dragon's Lair is that's a whole different thing, man. That's a whole different world.
It was like a mini RPG.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
You know, it was like Diablo.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Throws the controller further than he threw the paper when he gets all upset about that one.
Chris had a second pick. It was Space Invaders.
Space Invaders. Also solid.
I dig it.
Classic.
Yeah. Yusuf, you should invent a new arcade game, go next to Tapper, be it Untapper, and see if you can just try to give the lowest score every time. It's like you're good on Untapped.
It's inside jokes land like this. My reputation for scoring things unfavorably is not good. So
Well, I was like, everybody's really good at that game. Right?
super good at it.
Everyone.
Well, I mean, these guys
Everyone's
just give
nuts.
everything a 4.5.
Oh, Sam Fraser with a video game. I don't know.
Rampage on beers.
Oh, I haven't played this in
Rampage.
forever.
Oh, Rampage.
Oh,
Rampage
Rampage,
is
yeah.
So in Rampage on the arcade cabinet is far superior to any console.
100%.
It's far superior.
100%.
Yep. They didn't port that one right, I don't think, and it never really played right on
The N64 version was garbage.
Yeah.
Was
like
it even
it-
called Rampage 64?
I think
I
it
think
might
it
have
was called Rampage 64, yeah.
Yeah. But like that old classic arcade cabinet, that's a banger.
Absolutely.
And if you haven't noticed, they're all about bangers here. That's what they do.
It's kind of
All right.
it's our thing.
We
This is
crank out
better.
bangers.
That was a banger.
Everything's a banger.
This brew is a
All
banger.
About Bangers? Is that a beer name? All About Bangers?
All about bangers.
Yeah.
Huh. Follow up to Urban Bangers.
Yeah.
All
All
the
the
kitchens even
every-
put out bangers
everything's
and mash
changing.
one time. so-
Everything's daisy chain.
This is coming
Everything's
together.
daisy chain. It all
Yeah.
starts moving on.
You guys didn't give us your favorite old school arcade games. So what do you got?
What's old school though? Like, cause like for me, I used to play NBA Jam, NFL Blitz in the arcade. Yusuf, you know that.
Mhm.
Ninja Turtles. It was Ninja Turtles Arcade. Was a
Yeah.
really good
I'm
game.
thinking before we got to full 3D, old school would be like Mortal Kombat flat is okay. That's about as late as I would go on the game. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat.
She's like the Simpsons.
Game with the gun, not quite old school. Now it is for people younger than us.
Simpsons and Ninja Turtles Arcade, like where it was just going across the screen like that. Like those were good games. Those were fun.
Yeah, I think those count.
4-player.
Yep.
Those are both fun.
What was the one I'm thinking of? Was the Atari game where you were driving a car? You're actually like on the seat and doing the thing. I forget what it was called. It wasn't like Speedrunner. It was an Atari game.
I think.
And it was at the bowling alley we used to go to. So
I remember what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name of it.
no, neither can I. And now I wish I had remembered it and played it more because I liked that game a lot.
Brett, do you remember video games, or did your parents only let you watch very nice movies like, VeggieTales?
I didn't go to arcades that much, but when I didn't like playing the Simpsons game, or I like the old school shooter games were always kind of fun for me. I remember my grandparents actually had a Nintendo when I didn't have a gaming system, so we'd always go over there and start over at level 1 and just go through like the first 2 things and be like, it's time to go. Or do Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt was delightful.
Hey,
did you try to shoot the dog? Are you that guy?
Yes,
No.
yes, I did.
It's always like 100%.
That dog pissed me off.
That dog's laughing at me. That dog's going down.
I want to see, is Zeke around? I want to have him come over and say
Let me go see if
he's around. And then I'm gonna tee up one more question before we close up. Guys, the beer's incredible right now. They're killing it at BRI. And Colby, great job, man.
Thanks.
Bless your hands, my child. Bless your amazing. If you guys have any questions to ask Matt or Colby, anything about BRI, anything about video games, fuck it. They probably have an answer for you on that too. Pop them in. Do it. But the last question before we wrap up, since we talked about old school arcade games, is your favorite console you've ever owned. Everyone's thinking.
Oh, I know.
Oh.
It's the Nintendo 64, hands down.
Hands down. Why? What game made it your
down? That was the best console. It was, well, first of all, it was the first console I ever bought with my own money. And just all the games on it were classics. All of them.
I think
Matt looked different.
I found Matt had put on a Santa beard and added a tan. His nose is a little bit different.
Way different.
Yeah.
Voice a little too.
This is Zeke. Zeke and I have known each other for like 11 years, and it just so happens that he works here. So the baklava, which he's drinking right now, was partly an inception of his. So thanks for hopping in on the tail end of this. So you get to answer this question as well.
Okay.
It is, what is your favorite video game console?
The PlayStation 2 is the best console ever made.
Didn't fucking let me finish my sentence. He knew already. He was like,
PlayStation 2 had you could play all of PS1 stuff on it. So you could play all the old Final Fantasy stuff, plus Tony Hawk and all the Tony Hawks to come. The amount of games on that were PS2. It wins.
I want everyone to know that his fake American accent right now is incredible. It's off the freaking charts. Normally he talk like this.
It's okay.
Everything great?
We went to club a couple times.
Club. I wear chain. He not wear chain. I have no chest here. He have chest here. A lot of chest here. We have great time. Pick up 2 babushkas. Always great night. Always great night. His best night. And then we take them for, baklava. What, man?
Well, you guys committed to that for a while.
It's probably important to note that Zeke and I met when I was at NCT Phoenix, or National Comedy Theater Phoenix, doing improv, and he was there a year after I started there when we had opened the theater. So there was no preparation for that. That's just Zeke and I.
We cut it short.
Yeah, that could have gone on. That could have gone on for 5 minutes.
And we all thank you for cutting that short. No, we appreciate that. We do have a few more comments up.
What did he say? I'm sorry.
You were so mad that you made the terrible screen. You went there. That's how much I upset you, man. I'm sorry.
You've upset me. Comments. Tell me.
No, we got some comments in terms of like the video game system, the consoles. PJ said the Atari 2600 for the win. Nothing wrong with Atari. Like, I used to go to my grandparents' house. My grandma and grandpa, they had an Atari. We'd go there and just play Atari. I don't know if it was a 2600. It was just the Atari, but it was fun.
That was my first console, yeah.
That was Matt's first console, so there you go.
Yeah, Pitfall, River Raid, Montezuma's Revenge, Pac-Man, obviously. Those, Gorf. was an amazing game.
What was it called?
Gorf. Gorf.
Gorf.
Gorf was a great game. All those are, those are really, really small games. Yeah, really small games.
Poppy Place has the PS3.
Solid.
It's up there.
Robert's back with Dreamcast was underrated. I think Dreamcast was very underrated, ahead of its time with the disc when that wasn't really a big thing.
Well, and that's why they went under. So the Dreamcast didn't have a DVD player, and when the PlayStation 2 came out, there were more people in Japan and the United States buying the PlayStation 2 just so they could get a $300 DVD player, and then also it played games. But Dreamcast they were stuck on the CD. It's the same thing with Xbox 360 and PS3, because PS3 had a Blu-ray player, and the 360 was like, no, HD DVDs.
That's why I bought the
adapter.
Yeah. An HD DVD adapter. It was the worst thing ever.
Should we pour one out for Sega, though? I feel like Sega was often the better console, and they screwed everything. Like, I have a Game Gear still.
We don't.
Okay, Game Gear was good, but it took so many batteries. It was too early. It was too early for
batteries. Too many for you? I'm sorry.
We don't pour one out for Sega because, in case you guys didn't notice, there was an entire Steam sale for Sega's anniversary. Sega's doing just fucking fine.
What I'm saying is, like, they were oftentimes the better console or the better system, but their marketing, and they were almost too ahead of their times in certain ways. It's like they just screwed it up. Like, Game Gear was better than Game Boy. But
for sure. Yeah, as far as games and stuff like that, absolutely.
Sega did what Microsoft did with the Zune. They went too far too fast and at the wrong time, and it was way too far. Way too far. It was the first 128-bit system.
Yeah.
What was it? Yeah, you know what the bits are, right?
I know. Yeah. So in my Atari, there was 8 of them.
This guy had 8 bits.
Like the whole thing.
The whole
Walter Man 84 is excited to get that PS5 pre-ordered. I haven't bought has anyone here bought a game system recently? The most recent one I have is my Xbox 360. And I know games are
PS5 or PS4, so I
was like, you're right.
Yeah, no, you got a PS4.
Where do you live?
Yeah.
I'll be right back, guys. I figured out how to make a ton of money.
That's it.
I've got an Xbox One. I just used to be a gaming PC rig guy. I'd build my own rigs. So, favorite console I've ever owned, hard decision between the Dreamcast and the N64. Because that was my next console after the N64 was the Dreamcast. I never had a PlayStation 1. I ended up borrowing Metal Gear Solid and the console from my next door neighbor because my parents were like, "Fuck you, we just bought this N64."
You're gonna play with this.
I got the N64 when it was like $36.
Right.
So it was, I didn't even have the expansion pack. I couldn't play Donkey Kong. Oh. So that's what I had. Oh man. Well, guys, this has been a fun episode. We've made our picks on football. We've gotten a chance to talk to Zeke a little bit. Real quick, before we lose you, I want to talk about baklava. I didn't get a chance to type up a banner, so I'm going to do that as you talk about it. But this is you guys, and I'll just kind of do it.
Yeah, so it's a Belgian double. We had a date, so we were going for like a Belgian baklava thing. We have kind of like a like staff beer kind of thing we're trying to work on and keep pumping through. And so I went over to Colby and Sam in the brewery, and I was like, I have this idea. And they said, cool, let's kind of go for it. Colby kind of helped figure out the recipe for it. And he was like, well, let's get the honey from the malt. Let's get, we'll get all the clove from the yeast. We'll get a super, super clove forward Belgian yeast to really pump that out. And then we got the dates kind of on a whim from Agritopia, right?
Yeah, they hit us and they said, hey, we've got fresh dates coming off the trees now. So we snagged a bunch up. And you guys have never had like fresh dates by the fistful from Agritopia. They are just bonkers.
Wild. But yeah, so they said, hey, let's get this beer going. And that's kind of the story of that. Named it after I grew up eating baklava. My dad's the one that showed me how to make it, so I was like, let's name it after him.
As long as you don't try to take credit for the entire baklava, sir.
He invented.
No,
you are not
behind on that.
You are not inventing of baklava.
No.
It's really good. I wanna end on a quick note. Their anniversary is coming up, so the 6-year anniversary of BRI starts November 17th. Tell us a little bit more about what else is going to happen. I'm going to give you guys this seat and just walk away.
Okay,
That's what I'm going to do.
Get out of here.
Yeah. You know what?
Take your podcast and get out of here. So our actual anniversary is going to be on November 17th. That's the day. It's our 6-year anniversary. And normally, if you guys have ever been by, we throw one hell of a party, shut down half the parking lot, and just rage all night. We can't do that this year because of our good friend COVID.
Yeah.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of stage some different smaller events. We're going to do a 4-course farm-to-table beer and food pairing, 4-course dinner. That'll be on the 18th. On the 19th, we're going to do a specialty can release. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. On the 20th, we're doing another specialty can release. That'll be our anniversary ale, but I'm not telling you what it is. And then on the 21st, I will tell you this one. We're going to do our first ever bottle release, and it's a very, very special, very limited edition barrel-aged Dark Side Till I Die in bottles. We're going to get some great artwork on it. And Colby, what do we plan on doing? Like maybe 500 bottles on that, 400, 500?
I think we're right like 4 something. Yeah.
Yeah. So probably just right around 400 bottles, and we'll launch those on November 21st. So the barrels that we selected to pull that beer out of are just absolute chocolate bombs. This is going to be
the barrel we selected.
The barrel, yeah. So it is just heavy dark chocolate, nice caramel, roasty booziness from the bourbon and the oak, and it's a really, really special batch of beer.
I'll take one. Fine, I'm sold.
I'll take what he says.
Yeah.
Well,
It's gonna be
gentlemen,
Sold. Yeah, done.
it's been a fun show. Make it to the 6-year anniversary, please. It'll you'll run into maybe some familiar faces like this one, or maybe me when I have a beard again. But that takes an entire pandemic to grow. So
We'll get there.
Robert Haddock, can't wait to celebrate. We can't wait to celebrate with you guys. And as always, thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Social Distance Drinking Club. It's been a blast. Thank you, Matt. Cheers. Thank you, Zeke. Thank you, Colby.
Cheers.
And thank all of you for watching. We'll see you guys again very, very soon. Did you have something you wanted to say, Adam? I'm sorry.
No, I just don't have anything in my glass to cheers with. I'm sorry. I drank all my beer.
Oh man,
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.